2 weeks after I co-signed my parents' mortgage, my dad called me a failure at a family dinner. So the next morning, I pulled the loan and their $400,000 dream house started dying on the spot. I worked as a credit analyst in Denver. I lived like the boring borrowers banks love. $95K income, 780 credit, no debt. My parents weren't that. They made about $48K combined, hovered around 615, and always had an excuse for late payments. My mom called on a Sunday with that bright, forced cheer. They'd found the perfect house in Highlands Ranch, listed at $400,000. Their lender offered around $260K at 9.1%, but with a co-signer, they could get the full amount at 6.2%. It's just to help with the rate, she said. I knew what co-signing meant. I said yes anyway. A week later, the loan officer slid the paperwork to me and tapped the highlighted line. You're the primary borrower, she said. Your income qualifies this loan. I frowned. My parents said I was just helping with the rate. Her face didn't move. Legally, you're 100% liable. If they miss, we come to you. I should have walked out. I didn't. I signed 23 pages and told myself my parents probably didn't understand. I was wrong. 4 days later, they ordered a family dinner. My sister and her fiance were there, smiling too hard. My parents talked about the backyard and the garage. Then my sister said, like it was obvious, that once they had equity, they could help with her wedding deposit. I put my fork down. You haven't even closed. My dad snapped, it's our house. We can do what we want. I said, it's not your house if my credit is the approval. That's when he went nuclear. He leaned forward. Then he pointed at me with his glass. Then he said, you're a failure. After that, nobody breathed. Next, my mom whispered, Mark, stop, and stayed seated. Then he kept going, no wife, no kids, depressing apartment, spreadsheets. Finally, he said, don't come back until you learn what family means. So I left. No speech, just the door clicking shut. At home, I reread the loan docs. One clause said the primary borrower could withdraw before final approval. Without me, my parents didn't qualify for $400K. They didn't qualify for 6.2%. They barely qualified for anything. The next morning, I walked into the bank and said, I'm withdrawing my application. The loan officer froze. You realize this kills their deal? I do, I said. Confirm it in writing. By lunch, my phone was a strobe light. 13 calls from my mom, 8 from my dad. My sister texted, grow up. A realtor left a chirpy voicemail about timeline concerns. I didn't answer. I denied strangers for less every day. This time, the stranger shared my last name. 2 days later, my mom showed up at my work lobby, eyes swollen, hands shaking. Please, she said, what do you want? I said, if you want me back on that loan, you sign terms. In writing, no negotiation. That night, I sent 5 rules. No pulling equity without my written consent. No refinancing without my approval. Monthly proof of payment. If they missed 2 payments, I could force a sale or take control. And my sister had 0 claim to the house. No equity, no proceeds, nothing. My dad called it a prison sentence. My mom cried. Then the sellers got backup offers and set a hard deadline. Suddenly, my depressing apartment and spreadsheets were their only rescue plan. We met at a Starbucks. No hugs, no small talk. My dad stared at the pages like they were radioactive. What if something breaks? He barked. Send receipts, I said. Real repairs get approved. Wedding deposits don't. His jaw twitched. He signed anyway, hand shaking. My mom signed quietly. I signed last. Underwriting reapproved the loan. Closing happened fast. My parents got keys to their $400,000 house with my name on the mortgage and my rules attached. My dad didn't look at me when the title officer filed the agreement. 6 months later, I still got the same email every month. Payment confirmation. $2,847.16. On time. My credit stayed clean. My boundaries stayed cleaner. My sister downsized her wedding and blamed me anyway. Fine. People call you selfish when you stop being useful. And my dad? He never called me a failure again, because every month that payment clears, he remembers what that failure was worth. A month later, he called me late at night. I was out of line, he said, voice small. You're not a failure. It wasn't magic. It didn't erase anything. But it proved one thing. Consequences teach faster than lectures.